begin, we are going to be recording this session, so just letting everybody know that if you're okay with that. And then I'd like to welcome everyone. I'm going to take one of my headsets out there. I can hear myself in my just to welcome everyone. This is our first official networking breakfast of August, so thanks so much for joining us. I also want to welcome RBC Bank. They are our breakfast sponsor today, as well Best Western Voyageur Hotel. They are our 2020 breakfast series sponsor, and we'll be hearing from both Pat and Vivek in just a moment. But at this time, I'm going to call on Abdus Samad. He is our Director of Government Relations and Policy with the Chamber, and Abdus is going to give us a little update from his perspective this morning. Oh, you're still muted, Abdus. You'd think you'd get a hang of it by now.
It's been an interesting week. Morning, everyone. It's good to see you all again. So I just wanted to start off with the tariffs that were just recently imposed by the U.S. government. Canada has responded saying that they will impose dollar for dollar retaliatory tariffs. Obviously this is bad for business on both sides of the border. Business leaders and our counterparts in the U.S. chambers have come out against this. We are looking to see what the federal government will do, and those conversations are still ongoing. There is a bit of a, I don't know if I'd call this saving grace, but a bit of some light there because there's a loophole for companies that provide parts made out of aluminum. So it's not the same as the tariffs that were imposed in last year, but at the end of the day, a tariff is tariff, and in light of the pandemic, this isn't good for anyone. We are continuing those conversations, and we will be reaching out to our auto manufacturing companies in Newmarket and across the York region to work with them and ensure that they're included in the conversation. It's bad for business on both sides. I don't see the rationale for something like this, but anything the States does these days doesn't really make sense. So. The other thing I wanted to touch on was the CEWS expansion. So the federal government has extending the period for CEWS until December 2020, and the 75% CEWS has been replaced with a new two-part subsidy, which when combined can equal up to 85% of remuneration. So the flat 75% subsidy will be replaced with a base rate subsidy that's determined on a sliding scale, plus a top-up subsidy for employers who have a revenue drop of more than 50%. The base rate subsidy will be set at a maximum subsidy rate of 60% in July and August for employers with a revenue drop of 50% or more, and with this maximum subsidy rate dropping to 50% for September, 40% for October, and 20% for November. For employers who have revenue reductions below 50%, the subsidy rate is set at 1.2 times the revenue drop for July and August, and then 1 time the drop for September, and a very weird calculation of 0.8 times for October, and then similarly for November. So, for example, an employer with 20% revenue drop in July will qualify for a subsidy rate of 24%. However, the government is also dropping a safe harbor rule, which would allow employers to, with a revenue drop of 30% or more, to receive the same 75% subsidy rate for July and August periods. And the top-up subsidy is for employers that are experiencing a 3-month average revenue drop of more than 50%. The subsidy rate is equal to 1.25 times the average revenue drop in excess of 50%, with the maximum top-up rate achieved at 70% revenue reduction. This is all very this is all very technical. We are working on getting someone from the federal government to come and do a breakdown of the new CEWS expansion, and we'll have some details for you shortly. The final thing I wanted to touch on is the Recovery Activation Program. Now, I'm sure you've seen some messaging from us in our communications, and we're really excited for the program because it is a tool to help businesses. Essentially, it is a digital accelerator. So as part of the digital Main Street expansion by the provincial and federal governments, 7.7 million was injected into digital Main Street, which has been around for about 5 to 7 years. And RAP was created as a result of that. If I can just share my screen. Share my screen. Please excuse the excessive tabs. So RAP is built to help businesses get digital, and the difference between digital Main Street and RAP is that digital Main Street will help you get a website, understand the basics of social media analytics. It'll give you the tools and know-how if you're working off a base of zero. RAP will take you and put you in a cohort and give you everything to digitize your operations. Now, when we say digitize your operations, there's far more to digitizing your operations than just getting a simple website. It's incorporating if you have vendors and you are a third-party supplier, connecting the vendor and your operations to the customer, ensuring that that is somehow linked to social media analytics, and then you're tracking social media analytics to drive more revenue growth. It's that synchronization, that's a full digital operation, incorporating HR, incorporating best practices. If you think about how when you go into a Walmart, there's someone greeting you at the front door, that's part of the customer experience, and there's a way to incorporate that into an actual website. Europe is far ahead of us in that regard. So RAP will give you the tools to do all of that. This is a simple form. If you just go to our Newmarket page, so newmarketchamber.ca. Again, please excuse me. And if you, where can I? So here we go. Nope, come back. And then more info. And you click here to apply. And this is a simple onboarding. If you incorporate all the information that they're looking for, you'll be contacted within 24 hours by someone from the RAP team. It is developed and built by the Toronto Region Board of Trade. Again, it is meant to help businesses. So there's no cost to it, and we don't get a referral fee or anything like that. This is really meant to help businesses deal with the challenges of COVID and the new landscape that's emerged as a result of it. So I think it's an excellent program again, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are encouraging as many businesses to apply as possible. And it doesn't give you the platform itself, but it will give you, it'll connect you to the right people who can develop the platform and also provide you access to grants to help you go in that direction. So this is just about getting as many businesses through the stream as possible. Anyways, I've been rambling for a while. Jen, I'm going to close it off. Jennifer,
thank you, Aptus. We always like listening to you ramble. It's okay. Quickly, I just wanted to also welcome from our board of directors, Shawna Fardy. She joined us today, so good morning. And I also see Dawn Gallagher Murphy from Minister Christine Elliott's office is on. And so Dawn, you're going to give us a little update, a couple of announcements yesterday in the riding.
Yes, correct. Good morning, everyone. Great to be here. And on behalf of Christine Elliott, our MPP for Newmarket and Aurora, yesterday was a good news day here in the riding. Ms. Elliott with 8 other of our York Region MPPs. We're at the York Regional Police Headquarters for an announcement. On Thursday, you may have heard that the government is investing over $6 million into the proceeds of crime frontline policing grant program. So yesterday it was announced how much of that money is coming right here to York Region, and there are 2 projects that York Region had applied for, and there will be $600,000 coming into York Regional Police. The 2 programs, one is for human trafficking, and that program is going to be all about really setting up a reporting system on social development to understand what is causing people to get into human trafficking. So there's a lot of different elements to it. So that's one of the programs. The other program is Guns and Gangs. So each program will be having $300,000 so that the YRP can expand on those initiatives here in our communities. So that was a good news story. As well, you may have heard that the government is moving forward with $500 million in investments for new schools to be built, as well as very much needed renovations to schools. And right here in the riding, there will be an investment of, I believe it was just under $20 million for a new school build that will be in Aurora, on the northeast side of Aurora. That school will have 638 students, and it's an elementary school. So yesterday, Minister Lecce and Minister Elliott, along with the York Regional District School Board Director of Education, was on site to deliver the news regarding shovels ready to go for that new school. So those were some 2 announcements right here in our riding, which are great news. Other things, just so people are aware, you may have been seeing some postings or in the Snapped or in the local papers, etc. Ms. Elliott has been making her rounds to visit with local businesses and residents who have been going above and beyond during the pandemic. And it's really all about thanking people for what they've been doing to help our community. And yesterday, in fact, there was a couple of the members that were acknowledged. Red Thread Brewing, for their support of the Newmarket Food Pantry, as well as in conjunction with the Old Village House, and them coming up with the COVID lager beer and donating partial proceeds of the sale of that beer to our frontline workers at South Lake. So I think that was a good news story, as well as Matrix in Motion. So a visit with them as well to thank them for what they were doing regarding healthy living during the pandemic, and giving back by buying gift cards from small businesses to help small businesses at this time. So in any case, I just wanted to make those couple of announcements, and thank you everybody. And if there are questions about what's happening at a provincial level, I'm more than happy to help out. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dawn. And with that, we're going to go over to Pat Lucing with Best Western Voyageur. Pat is the general manager there, and as I said, our 2020 Breakfast Series sponsor. So Pat, take it away.
Okay, I'll take it away. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you very much for the intro. I just wanted to say, yes, I am the general manager of the Best Western Voyageur Place Hotel, located at the corner of Yonge and Davis Drive, right across from Upper Canada Mall. We've been here for many, many years, so I hope everyone knows where we are. And we have been open through the pandemic right from the get-go. We have some long-term stay guests here. There's one lady who's been living here for 3-4 years, so it'd be kind of hard to just shut down the hotel with that. We've also been hosting 20 rooms for Blue Door Shelter, the homeless shelter group in York Region, and that has worked out very well. However, of course, our occupancy is down horribly, over 30%. Revenues are down over 40%. But we are inching back, teeny, tiny increments, and we hope that it will get better as we go along. Of course, our wedding business, usually, from, April to October, we have a lot of guests who stay here for wedding blocks, but all those events and sporting events are gone. So yes, hospitality has been very, very hard hit. We've been utilizing every government subsidy and grant that we can get our hands on to keep everything afloat. And we just have some good news too, is that August the 4th, last week, the Buttery restaurant, which is independently owned and operated, but it is located in our building, they reopened finally. So that's great. They are open now just for breakfast and lunch. So Monday to Friday at 6:30 a.m. and Saturday and Sundays at 8 a.m. They have marvelous food. Please come and support them. Have some breakfast. Of course, they have all the physical distancing in place, etc. And now I guess it is my pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker. RBC is helping clients thrive and communities prosper. And today we have Vivek Chandra, a business account manager at RBC Royal Bank, joining us. In his role, he works with business owners to help them establish, sustain, and grow their business. He is associated with the Davis Drive and Keswick branches and has a large partner network at RBC to support other banking needs of his clients, like mortgages and investments. So with that, Vivek, I'll have you take it away.
Thank you, Pat. Thanks
You're
for
welcome.
this. Thanks for the intro. And I wish you guys all the best for all the good work that you're putting in for the community and people. And I'm sure that things are going to bounce back very, very soon. So
very, very slow, but soon. Thank you.
So that is way better than not being there. So slow is acceptable and okay. While we moved into this pandemic, we have used words like uncharted territory, unprecedented times to explain our experience or our firsthand experience of this COVID-19 pandemic. It almost sounds like a cliche, but the good thing is that we are seeing that slowly but for surely we are leaving this cliche behind us. So that's a good part. And to everything which is not so good, not so positive, even to that, there is a positive side. And we want to look at the positive side because the not so positive is going to get over eventually. And what will sustain is the community. What will sustain is all the good work that we are doing amongst our places. So we have seen, in my role, as Pat has shared, I work with the small business owners and that kind of community, and I help them sustain their business, grow their business. So one of the things that we have seen in our market is that this pandemic time, it has brought out endurance and innovation in small businesses. We have seen small businesses have the ability and the tenacity to endure tough times, difficult times, and ability to innovate at a much faster pace than what we ever imagined, I would say that. And we as an institution, as the bank, because we are here for the small businesses, we got our opportunity to respond in a fairly quickly fashion to this situation of pandemic. So, for example, most of the small business owners over here, they would know that the government launched the CEBA program, Canadian Emergency Business Account, which was coordinated through the banks. So we have a large base of small business clients. So we were able to kind of respond to it very quickly, although this was all done in conjunction with the government. But in between, in the transition and in the disbursement of those loans, whatever shortcoming impediment was there, we were able to quickly be on top of that to resolve that. Because businesses needed, assistance in terms of funding and extra cash flow to sustain the hard times when the businesses were shut down. They couldn't operate. Cash flow was at a standstill. So that's why the importance of the bank's activities actually became more, prominent. So although having said that, I must say that we have experienced that small business owners, they really rallied up to the extent that they were able to very quickly put in resources from their personal side as well. So it has been a mixed bag of experiences, but we have seen a lot of positives happening with the small business community. So we, from our side, we have the business accounts and we extended courtesy overdraft to those accounts. So, which means that even with the not so healthy cash flow with businesses shutting down, the fixed costs were still being incurred by the business owners. So with that overdraft, courtesy overdraft, we were able to accommodate those payments for the business owners. And then there were some business loans which were launched through BDC and Royal Bank in conjunction. So we were able to follow through those, and we were able to help our clients with that. We got this opportunity to engage with our clients at a deeper level to understand their credit needs a bit better in these peculiar times. And we were able to help them. We were able to work with them. And one very important thing, and we feel happy about it, is that there's a lot of supply chain activities and businesses which were open through the pandemic. And it was important for us to engage with the supply chain industries. And there were some which were coming up as well. So like I mentioned that the small businesses were able to innovate. A lot of them innovated in the area of being able to supply the PPE equipments, for example. So we were able to engage with them to help them get the finance, get the funding to implement those kind of projects. So we have seen some good recovery in the month of July, and August is looking a bit better than that. And let's see where this journey takes us. But it's a good feeling that we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel. We are not there yet, but we will be there for sure. Couple of good takeaways which we have seen in our market, and I would like to share with the group over here, because it's our perspective. This is what we do. We get feedback from the market and we are driven by the market. So the good thing that we are seeing is that the business community is very excited about the times to come. There are, for example, restaurants. If you visit a restaurant, if you visit the bakery which Pat you mentioned in a hotel, you will find there is a very, very renewed fervor and energy to help to cater to the clients. I mean, you can observe that, be your own judge and see what's happening, of how the businesses are responding. That business has been there for ages, but when you go in now, you will find a difference in terms of how they connect with you and how you will connect with them. So this is something that is out there for you guys to experience. We have seen that there is a heightened awareness within the community to work with the local businesses. This is a very, very encouraging sign. I would say kind of a blessing in disguise that we are coming together as a community to work within the community and support the community. So that's a great thing. And I want to share with you that a lot of small business owners who own commercial properties. So like, for example, the interest rate environment today is very, very positive for the property owners. It's low. So they were able to, transition their commercial mortgages from other financial institutions into Royal Bank for interest savings and equity takeout as well. So these are the kind of good things which have happened. This is work in progress. We are there to work with you, and we are there to help our clients in whichever ways we can. So with this, we also wanted, I would like to hear, I'm curious to hear from the crowd, from the group, that what's on your mind as far as pandemic is concerned. What questions or concerns do you have? And if we can find an answer to that. And of course, where do you see this market, this small business going in next 3 to 6 months? So please do share with me if you have any thoughts around this.
If anybody
Jennifer
has any comments or questions, you can either just put up your hand or just unmute yourself. What are you finding that you're seeing, Vivek, from people that come into the branch, small business owners? What issues are they bringing to you, or what are they still looking to find out, 4.5 months into the pandemic?
So our experience up until now is that when small business owners are coming in, they are at that verge, or they have already opened up their business. And once they've opened it up, because of social distancing, because of limited amount of business which is taking place, there is still paucity of funds. So they want to transact their business at the most in a most cost-effective fashion. So they are seeking advice from us as to how can they further cut their costs in terms of their banking fees, etc. And they are also, it's out there that the interest rates are low. So a lot of the small business owners who own the commercial properties, they are coming and talking to us to help so that we can explore for them if we can offer them some interest savings. And because commercial mortgages are larger amounts, $500,000 or more, or around that, the interest saving, it translates into the absolute numbers are really big and noticeable.
Okay. So I guess you would encourage, the takeaway here is for businesses, still small businesses, to come and speak with you and just see where they can get these little cost-cutting measures, right? Every little bit helps.
Absolutely. I would say I would invite the small business community to come and talk to us so that we can discover together as to how we can make a difference in these pandemic times as well. I don't want to promise the moon and the earth, and we can't, but we want to be realistic to the extent that given the circumstances, given the transactions, given what your needs are, and given what we can offer, given all this, we want to construct or explore mutually a very beneficial solution for our clients.
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate your positive outlook that you gave us. That was nice today. It was refreshing. And if nobody else has any questions for Vivek, we are going to go back to some speed networking. For those of you who have done it before, it's fun. For those of you who haven't, please stick around and just give it a try. It's a really great way to micro network with everybody who's on today. So I'm going to ask Tyler, who's going to come in and explain what we're going to do.